What's up, everybody? Good morning. We got the OBS working today. Is there a correction inbound? Well, you know, as soon as we posted this damn thumbnail, the market starts pumping. But you know what? I'm also in a 10x long on Blofin. And I'll bring that up here in a little bit. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Hope you're looking good. Hope you just is good. We about to get this going. So it's about roll call time. I want to see everybody dropping those emojis. I want those boom emojis. I want those bull emojis. I want this happiness in the chat today. We're going to get this going here in just a moment. So everybody, let's get it going. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding the bell. Let's go ahead and jump into this stream, baby. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Welcome to the show. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. Market is doing a little bit of a chopping around right now. It's starting to push up a little bit. I was just out of the room. Let's see if it's come back down. No, it's still up. We're going to be looking exactly at what's going on here. And yes, we do have the screen working today. Look at that. Look at that. Just absolute wonderful boom sauce here. Quite lovely to see. We can actually extend this line out a little bit like this. So we see we have a touch point, touch point, touch point, touch point. You could also draw this like this and get this kind of up here where you have touch, 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 touch. Either way, we're seeing the bulls try to take advantage of this situation. We got positive news from BlackRock. We got all kind of things that's showing that I don't need this jacket on anymore. It is pretty damn cold down here. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Take it off. How are you feeling, everybody? How you feeling? I'm so sorry that yesterday we had to cut it short. You know, could not get the OBS to work, but you know what? It was wonderful to be on Discover Crypto there and break things down. H-Town back in the house. Hey, H-Town, I used to live up past the FOMO. I used to live up there. I didn't live in the FOMO. I lived at over Heights and then Champions Park up in Willowbrook area. But let's see who we got in the house. We got Atropine. How you doing? Tig Old Biddies, Crimson Caravan Company, Alexandra G. Who else we got in the house? Sawtooth Hiker, always in the house. Theo Rodriguez, Brad Guidell, Cade Pulliam. My boy Brad, always doing it. Love to see you here. Brandon Buttry. I have such a small screen. It's hard to read some of these. We got a lot of people now, so let's just say that. Big love to each and every one of you. Let's go ahead and dive in to talk about what we want to talk about here. First off, we mentioned that we have the market is kind of ripping a little bit right now. Is this going to come down? Is this going to continue up? Let's go ahead and go through. We can go through several different indicators. We can look at Lux Algo. We see we have the volume is just standard here, but we see volume coming up. We got the buy signal. We got the purple candle and then the green candle suggesting that it's a very strong follow through sort of move. We see that this Lux Algo oscillator fully reset down here. And right at this moment, this told you things were brewing when we get this green dot and then it starts moving to the upside. And we are seeing that sort of, will we see it follow through? What is BitLab Academy, BitLab trading? We're on the 24-minute. What are we doing? What are we doing? Had other people on my computer. All right, we see the stochastics that come down, reset. We see we have a blue wave here, which suggests that there's positive money flow. This is good. If this candle body could close, of course, this has another hour. Let's go to the hourly candle. If this candle can close with a higher body area than these previous candles, this is starting to do what we need to do. But we have this giant order block directly above us. So we got to pay attention to what's happening here. Now, I do have a trade open right now. Let me go ahead and refresh this. I do have a trade open right now. Don't tell me it got closed out. Stop loss was too fine. I got stopped out. Did it really? Did I really put it in and it just got, oh man, that's a bummer. Well, that's life. I had a 10X long right about right here. I don't know how that, maybe it's, oh, maybe I'm not logged in anymore. It's because I'm not logged in. That's why. Whew. Let me go ahead and log in because I would be so bummed because that went the exact direction. The exact direction I thought it was going to go. I'm going to have to log in here. But as I'm logging in, What are you guys trading right now? Are you guys sitting on the sideline? Are you buying? Are you selling? Is there anything that you're seeing hasn't moved? I've noticed that Quant has not made any moves recently. It's sitting there around the $100 level, which is fantastic. And it's, you know, it's one of those things that could be opportunity. Does that mean I'm saying it's a long-term play? No, maybe not necessarily, but a lot of the market has ripped. A lot of the market has moved, and it has not made any moves as of yet. So, okay, here we go. Coming back to the chart here. Yeah, so I entered this trade on this candle right here, and we can see we're up 2% right now, and I have my stop loss. You see how conservative this stop loss is? It's okay, I don't care. That's why I thought it may have gotten stopped out, because I put it right on this candle. I put it below this previous low, directly below it. And so we're seeing right now, if the price action is able to continue up, then we're going to be in a good position. I may decide to move this up here in a few minutes, up closer to where the entry was on this candle right here. This was right as we were breaking out of this sort of formation. And that way, no matter what, I'll lose minimal. Even right here, this would only be about a $50 loss, $50 or $60 loss if it comes down to this level. But I'm going to be looking at some other trades today as well. I really want this to go. I want the markets just to completely rip today. But we got to talk about some things. But if you haven't yet, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button and ding in the bell. Join us here in the Academy. We got a wonderful community. Make sure you give me a follow here at Kelly Kellam. And of course, make sure you're following BitLab Academy at Academy BitLab. I'm doing a lot of shorts and stuff lately as well. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the things we want to talk about. This is the hash rate. Why do we care about this? This is that thing that everybody says. This is that thing that nullifies when people that don't understand Bitcoin say Bitcoin has no value. When you look at this, this is showing the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, how strong the network is. So not only do we have institutions on the sideline, not only do we have Bitcoin spot ETFs just, raring to go as soon as the government gives a green light on something that should already have been green lighted, we also have the hash rate hitting all-time highs. This is the strength of the network. This is how secure it is. This is the underlying value, just completely separate from this transacting of value. The strength of a network. Does Facebook have value? Does Instagram have value? Did MySpace have value? Networks have value, and that doesn't even marry in all the different things that a network can provide that actually adds the speculative value on top of that, and the other parts of the value that you can associate with an asset. Now, looking at this right here, look at this. We've been talking about this. I've been talking about this nonstop the last 4 months. Global liquidity. What does this say? Global liquidity is driving gold and Bitcoin. Crypto and gold. This is them averaged right here. Global liquidity, black. And look at this. This is coming all the way back to 1975. This is why this line is a little bit not as dark here. And then once we get to 2008, this becomes a darker line because now it is accounting for Bitcoin as crypto as well. But we're seeing liquidity drive. It's the engine that drives the market. We're seeing that liquidity tick up. Now, the other thing I want to talk about here is like this supply shock. If you want to understand why assets move the way they do, understand the supply and demand aspects of that asset. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is such an incredible asset and the best asset in the history of the world. There's a fixed supply of 21 million. Yes, there is inflation because remember, this is starting from 0 Bitcoin all the way up to 21 million. So over the last about 13 years, it's taken 13 years to mine about 19 million Bitcoin. And over the next 100 plus years, it's going to take to mine the rest of the supply. There can never go beyond that 21 million. In addition to that, you have to understand the liquidity of the asset. How much of that asset is available to trade and transact? We can measure that by looking on exchange, by looking at what type of holders, because remember, Bitcoin is transparent and we can tell what type of holders are holding Bitcoin, whether they're short-term holders, long-term holders, those that trade in and out, those that are new wallets, those that have a wallet that has coins that have never moved. Well, you can bet if a coin goes in there, there's a less likelihood that you're going to trade that away and trade in the chop because of volatility. So looking at all the behavior patterns of the different types of people in the market, we can also understand what type of liquidity we have, because we also have that metric from exchanges. And we have record low. We have such low availability, liquid supply of coins that people are holding on exchange. This partly has to do with all the cascading failures over the last year and a half, and people have grown wise. Not your keys, not your crypto, not your keys, not your coins. But we can see not only do we have this huge supply shock, meaning not much coin, meaning not many assets available to be traded on exchange, this drives up the impact of the demand that is there. And that's not even accounting for all the new demand that's about to come in and that's already starting to come in. And in addition to this, we can look at the stablecoin supplies. How much stablecoin, how much asset, liquid asset that you use to buy and trade crypto. We're seeing this basically hitting near record levels. Most since June of 2022, we're having a huge influx of the fuel, of the transactable asset that a lot of people use to buy and trade crypto. We're having a lot of that and none of the asset that people are trying to buy. What does that do to price? That is supply and demand dynamics. So considering this, considering that there is near record lows of such illiquidity in the market, there's no available supply on exchange. We're also seeing a huge influx of the amount of stable coins that are out there that people utilize to buy and trade these assets. People hold it as dry powder, but they also utilize it to, when they're getting into the market, they buy stable coins and they end up getting the assets that they're looking to get in the crypto ecosystem. So when we see these two disparities, both setting up a bullish setup, not even accounting for all the demand that's sitting on the sidelines, waiting for these Bitcoin spot ETFs, waiting for the end of the year, waiting for, especially with institutions, with the FASB rules that have changed and everything, waiting for a new fiscal year to get involved, because I'm telling you, this is the most bullish time in history. Are you involved? If you're not, what are you waiting for? Are you happy with running on the wheel that is fiat currency? Are you happy with the way the dollar is being printed to oblivion, devaluing every bit of hard work you've ever done? You're not. What's the risk of just getting some exposure in something that has the opportunity for you to participate in your future? If you want to know more, make sure you check out bitlabacademy.com. We have all the courses to walk you all the way through the most beginner steps. And for the pros, we take you all the way through how to understand this market, how to read charts, and how to engage with this so you can navigate to success, not navigating away from it like you do in the fiat dollar. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what else we want to talk about. Well, coming right here, Ethereum's market value has just reached $2,250 for the first time in over a year and a half as ETH open interest and longs increase. This is leverage, people taking leverage and longs. So leverage longs. There are signs of FOMO. This is something we need to watch. This is very bizarre. How could, if everybody's bullish, why would the market go down? Because the market, let's come back to here. Why would it be if everybody's bullish, we need to prepare for the market to go down? It's a contrary thing that a lot of people don't understand. If the market is set up where everybody's taking longs and everybody's open interest, leverage positions, futures, just long as they can be, it's a perfect opportunity for max pain in the market. It's a perfect opportunity to take liquidity and move it in the opposite direction. And you get a 2-for-1 deal of that. These market makers, this smart money gets a 2-for-1 deal, trading on the emotions of the market. When everybody's exuberant, the market tends to move the opposite direction, chop people out, commit them the opposite direction. In this case, commit them short. And then once they sell, you're selling your bags to somebody that's just about to rocket it back to the upside. So the point with all this is downside price action in a bull market is not a bad thing. Downside price action is opportunity if you can see it and acknowledge your feelings and not be held hostage by the emotion of that market movement. Look at your strategy. Don't engage with how you feel. The market doesn't care about how you feel. The market is there to move the money from the impatient to the patient, from the people without strategy to the people with strategy. That's what this is all about. So what's this mean? Well, first off, We're kind of tapping up in an area that I've been waiting for a long time. We're coming right into this fair value area as marked out here on this chart from Bitcoin strategy platform from the rational root. And we can see right here, this fair value is right in here. And this has to do with liquid supply and illiquid supply. And also just these, I mean, these bands are just phenomenal for calling where price action is. As you see right here, this is getting into the very heavily overvalued zone. When it topped up here into the 19,000, this called this as well. Even though a lot of us felt like this market got cut short, this still got to this point where it was touching this heavily overvalued zone right in here when we got up into the $57,000 range. And we came down all the way here to the, let's see, where is this? Heavily undervalued, tapped that little bottom there, just like we did 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 there. So where we're getting into right now is what can be considered based on a metric somebody made, roughly about fair value. And when we consider where we are in the cycle, it makes sense. We've looked at this chart. This is the previous halving, how price action interacted the 3 times since we've had the halving. So halving parabola, having a little bit slower parabola, having a little bit faster parabola on this one. But then the breakdowns, the tops were relatively in the same region, you know, a little bit delayed as we move forward. But then as we can see, the bottom's all roughly in the same zones. And then this is massive push up and then very large sell off. This had a lot of consolidation, push up, a little bit of a sell off and consolidation. What are we going to do this time? Well, when we overlay these, we've done this before. We've shown this in many different charts here that we're kind of pushing up here. Are we setting up for that pullback? Much like Joshua Jake talked about on the Discover Crypto video that he did, I think over the weekend, there is a huge potential at some point that we're going to get a large sell-off. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be, when's it going to be? Oh, we got the market moving the opposite direction. Let's go ahead and move our stop loss up. I'm going to put it right here. This is going to be a free trade. This way, if the price action comes down to my entry and this does not continue like we were hoping it would, this is still below this trend line that we have here. But it's also, it's basically right at entry. So this would essentially be a free trade. So, or I could just take profits and make 60 bucks. There we go. Coming back over to where were we at? Yeah. So fair value, 42,000. We're right basically flirting with that area. And look at all this work, both up and down this did here. Look at this work, up, down, consolidation, and then up and down into halving. What is going to happen here? I am looking for opportunities to take longs. And if we do get very overheated at some point, I may take some profits. I may take some profits if things get very overheated. I don't think we're there yet. Because I do think at some point we are gonna test down somewhere between the $32,000 to $36,000 range. It may be brief. It may touch just the $36,000 range. It may not. It may not, because we do have all this pent up energy on the sidelines with the ETFs people have been waiting on for years. But it's also the perfect opportunity for them to drive that euphoria only to reverse it and then bring back the prices so they can get much better prices. So we got to be careful here. We are seeing the exchange net position change right here where we had a lot of coins moving onto exchange. This is as people are preparing to take profits coming into this very strong bull trend. But then we also have right here, you see, we talked about this. Let me zoom in here. We talked about this when this was coming up. I said, man, if this flips back positive, we have to watch for a potential pullback. And we did get a little bit of chop here. You can see as soon as we started, as soon as this clipped over, this price action went basically still up, but it was kind of chopping sideways. And as soon as this came back off exchange, price ripping back higher. So is this forewarning us that the price is going to continue to move up? Well, let's go ahead and look at the price. And I am going to be, I'm going to be going, it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and clean up this chart a little bit. I've been in here looking at some trades and different scalp setups and all this kind of stuff. But we're sitting right in here. I mean, right in this order block. We do have this 1 hour candle did close. And look at this. It closed quite a bit above all these candle bodies. So this is doing some work for us. This is doing some work for us. We want to see if this can hold. Here I'm Blofin. By the way, if you're interested in trading with us over at Blofin, the link is down below in the description. Go and sign up. I think you can still get 160 bucks for signing up. Trade with us. Don't use leverage if you don't know how to use it. Be smart. Trade with risk management in mind. And spot trade. You can get on here, spot trade, spot trade or practice trade or whatever. But I am going to be showing a lot more trades. I just want to emphasize, if I do something, it doesn't mean you need to necessarily do it. I'm going through the mechanics of what I am doing when I'm trading here. Now, this is looking like it got a little overheated. I got the MACD here. Let's go ahead and, let me go ahead and zoom this out. There we go. Now, there we go. So MACD, look at that. It's looking to cross. The stochastic RSI is angled straight down. And of course, this is on the 5-minute chart, so that's a very small, obviously a scalp trade sort of setup, time frame we're looking at. But we really like to hold at this sort of level here, because not only is it this trend line, it's also this previous high right here. This would be an awesome setup for this to come in this region and then just continue to the upside. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but we're prepared if it does. Now, look at all that scalping. Boom, 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 boom. Now, coming back over here, let's get down. Let's actually look at the 6-hour chart. Let's get a little bit of the landscape of what's going on. It's December 5th, and look at this. If this does continue, this is since changed. Let's go ahead like this. Let's go ahead, draw. Boom. This is going to be very, very abstract here. So if this were to be a bit of a flag, then this target, I believe, goes up into the $45,000 range. Let's see. Yeah, right, 44.8, you see? So if this does do the work and push itself up, we got the stochastics angled up. This is 1 hour. The RSI is pushing up. It's got a little bit of a cool off right here. But what are we looking like on the 6-hour? Okay, the stochastics are trying to come down a little bit. The momentum is looking like it's trying to roll over, but on these smaller time frames, since this move just happened, it may take a little while to propagate on that larger time frame if this follows through. If this does not follow through, this very well could be the bull trap that is getting that final sort of impulse, capturing people's liquidity up here, like me trying to go long, but I did it with proper risk management. So even if the trade goes opposite way, I lose zero money. I got exposure while risking nothing. So if this does go the opposite way, then we know that this was a bull trap, and this likely is going to come down and test in this. I would think pretty strongly that we'd come down and test into the $40,000 mark, because this is not only the previous high, but it's also, look at this. This is also the somewhat macro parallel channel that we, butted heads against several times. And we just recently broke out of. It's still calling for a likely pullback to test this region, so we need to pay attention to that. And then remember, we have the order gap on CME futures that's down here, basically 39.4 up to 39.9. So if this does come down into here on a daily basis, on a 1 or 2 hour, we may very well have a wick that comes down and clears this liquidity here and closes that gap. So we could pay attention to these kind of things. Let's go ahead and look at a couple other coins. Let's look at Cardano, and I do want to look at Quant as well. What are we looking like on the daily? Daily, look at that. We also have a little bit of a breakout, but it's struggling at the moment. But look at this. If this were to go, this would really be a great thing, but you can't trade just on where the target is. You're excited about the target. Target up here, 64, 65 cents. Where does that go? Previous high, in between these two previous highs. Does that mean it's going there now? Market Cipher shows that we've got, look at this. This is pushing a little bit higher, and we're getting lower lows right here. So we have a large wave and then a smaller anchor wave right here that's getting smaller. If we look at the BitLab trading stack, we could see right here, look at this. Stochastics very high, now much lower. We also see the momentum wave very high, now much lower. And in addition to all this, is there any? Yeah, we're holding on. Look at this. We already tapped below the trend signal line, came back up, got held right here by the 20 moving average in this EMA ribbon, and then broke down, lost the trend signal line, came back up, tried to break free of this. It's just holding right at this weekly VWAP. If we lose this area, I do think we're likely going to test down to 35 cents. And if we lose that, then likely coming a bit lower. But if we are able to continue up, then we see the area that we're looking at. What does quant look like? How many of you out there are quant holders? By the way, shout out to everybody that's here. We got 102 people in the room, and only 38 of you were raised right by your mothers. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Join us here in the community. Cannot believe only 38 of you hit the like button, and join us. Become a member of the channel. Drop the emojis. I want to see all the members on the stream. Drop your favorite emojis in here. And what coins are you looking at right now? What coin do you want to see? I got a few minutes. We're going to break this down, and I'm going to go through the coins that I see of those green names or those people with the beakers next to their names. So let's look at it. Quant. Man, I call this so on the money over the last 7 months, 6 months, pushing up into the 120s, breaking down into the 95s and down into 85. Look at this. I had these lines. I had this all mapped out. And we're sitting there struggling, and this is starting to look like a very big flag. But the flag portion here, sorry about that. The flag portion here, I know you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, your screen's not up. Your screen's not up." I know. I got very small screens here. I got to figure it all out. But we got this flag portion here starting to get almost as long as the darn flagpole. But if this were to, come on. Option T, if you're on PC, it's Alt T, gives you a trend line. You come up like this, and this takes us all the way back up here into the 131. Takes us through this order block zone. Does that mean the price goes straight there? No, it does not. It means the price is going to work its way there. Will we get something like this on the daily? Maybe. We can't necessarily count on it, but this has been consolidating and has been holding this line right here. So what we can do here on quant, let's go ahead and zoom this in. Let's go ahead. I actually want to go to another chart, Q and T. Let's look at it on Gemini. That way we have a clean chart. Now look at this on the daily. We have an order block directly above our head. Another thing we can do right here, draw a trend line right there. We can also draw a trend line right in there. And this doesn't need to be exact. We're just looking at what's happening here. This is, look at this, starting to round out here. If we can take this out, then we may be in for a nicer move. And we do have volume coming in. Interest is coming into this area right here. So what's it looking like on the 4 hour? Let's go ahead and turn on, okay, boom. See, it's testing these lower regions. If we lose this, then I do think we may be coming back down to roughly about right here. Why? Because this is where this previous high was. And it's not only that one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And look, all this support here, all this rejection here. This is a target I'd be looking at for a great buy opportunity if quant comes down to this region. If it pushes up, then I do expect it may push up. And if and when it does, likely need to clear some of this order block liquidity, excuse me, I got the hiccups, right in here, and likely come back, test, and then continue to the upside. Anna Strong said Oasis. I don't know if I've ever looked at Oasis. Let's see. I don't even know what that coin is. Oasis crypto. Is that Rose? Yeah. Somebody's calling me. All right. So let's go to the daily. Look at this giant W pattern, kind of a triple bottom though, but not really. Let's get our bearings here first. Oops. Okay. Option T. Kind of looks like it's broken out of that because we have this line, this line, this line, come across, pushed up, found some support here. So what I'd like to see here, right now we are testing this region right here, these previous highs. So on this zone right here, this is looking like it may want to come down. If it loses this level, I think it may come down and test down here into the 71 cents. Why? Because we had the stochastic single down, smaller momentum waves. So we had bearish divergence right here, right? See this angle down? You see this angled up? That's a bearish divergence. Look at all this bearishness over here on the BitLab Trend Fuel dashboard right here. Red, red, neutral, neutral, red, red. So I do think that this, if for some miracle some buyers come in and it just rockets up, fine, that can happen. But looking at the technicals, this is suggesting that this may try to come down and at minimum test 74, which is these previous highs right there. Now, if we do come down, find support here, come up, watch for a retest here and then a continuation to the downside if that happens. If this finds support here and pushes up, watch for a takeout of the 8.8 cents. And then we can look to some higher targets, but I don't want to map those out on this. I mean, you could just go like this. Option F, come down to this. 1.618 is up at 10. Look at that. Yeah, that's 1.618 is at 10.5, and then we have the 2.618 at 14.75. There's not a lot of price history, so it's hard to really gauge. And look at this. Look at where we're really also testing right here. Just these lows right here. Previous lows. Also these rejection, and this is why. So once this gets let out, I do think it will likely move. It's also a smaller market cap. So what's Link looking like? Link, man, Link has just been a sexy girl. We have this long range that this traded in. Remember this? This was like 560 days or 570 days. Come here, measuring tool. Let's see. Yeah, 520 days that took. And look at how perfect this breakout was. We had this perfect inverted head and shoulders right here. See that? Perfect inverted head and shoulders right there. If you take that out, see? Shoulder, head, shoulder. And this just set up for the launch. And now it's looking like it wants to continue. But the price structure shows this come down and comes back up. But we do see weakness in the stochastics. Why do I say that? Because we see that the stochastics are getting lower and lower highs. See this? And we also see that the RSI is kind of rounding out a bit too. So if the RSI cannot hold this level, see how it's pushed the purple line? If the purple line cannot hold this level, that may be set up for something where we even see money flow start coming out again. So just caution there, and that's not a bad thing. I'd be happy for that because I would want to see Link come back down and give me another entry point down here in the 9 to 10.50 sort of range, 9 to 10.20 sort of range. That would be excellent. If this does continue up, though, I'm not mad at that either. We are going to have to, first things first, contend with this level right there. So let's watch this level. That's going to be 17.44, and then we can, after that, continue on from there. What does Ethereum look like? Let's go ahead here. Ethereum. All right. Bitcoin's still moving to the upside. All right. Let's check the trade. 15 minutes. Let's go down to 5 minutes. Yeah, this is what we want to see. Push up, retest, rise, retrace, continuation. And we see right here that the stochastics came down, formed a higher low as well. So we don't have a low, equal lows while the price is going up. We have a higher low on stochastics. We have this MACD, which is hopefully just touching this line, the signal line, the red line, and then just curving back, exploding back up. But we want to see volume come in if we're expecting this to continue to the upside. That's what we want to see. Come on, baby. Run for daddy. Ethereum has been on a rampage as well. This is up 47% since October. I mean, that's just incredible. So what's it looking like today? 4-hour chart. Let's go ahead. Let's get to a cleaner chart. Holy moly, is that a messy chart? All right. So we had this rising wedge, this ascending triangle, rising level of support, flat level of resistance. Let's turn off the indicators and we can see, look, we're taking out this level. This is great. The next order block is all the way up here at $2,800. But we have a couple things we have to contend with. Why is price action not just running right now? Well, we see this. Why is it not running? What do we do when the price is not running? Pupils, everybody here, friends, countrymen, right in the chat right now, comment down below. What do we do when we see price pushing up into an area like this? How do we try to figure out how to explain it? At least get some context around it. Well, first things first, we zoom out and we look over to the left. And you see how I have this line on my chart? If you right click on your the y-axis here with the prices, you come down, you come to lines, put on price line. You see how that line goes away? So if you want that, come here, go to price line, and then you can look across your chart and say, oh, what is this line interacting with right now? Well, look at this. This area bounced right here. This area bounced right here. We have not much direct interaction. Oh, this bounced right here. Okay. So we're seeing that this level, we're trying to clear out some of these entry points and exit points, this liquidity price memory that people see from previous price actions. So they choose to take some profits here. And the question here is going to be, where do the bulls come back in? Right now, if this just forms this little bull flag right here and continues, excellent, because we got the W formation right here, push up. We just don't want this to rise up here, form an M pattern, and then which essentially is a bearish reversal pattern for the small time frame. We don't want it to do this. Okay. This is why you don't try to trade this just because it's going up like this. You want to clear this level so it doesn't get rejected and come down. This is looking relatively bullish. We do see the stochastics rolling over here on the 12-hour though, so that's a little concerning, at least in the interim right now. 6 hour, what are you looking like? 6 hours getting full, almost reset on the stochastics, but the momentum's rolling over. What's it looking like on the 2 hour? This actually looks a little bit better. Okay, momentum is kind of rolling over. We got the stochastics down. The RSI is starting to angle to the upside. So what we want to see here on the 2 hour is we want to see a break at this level. You see how it's kind of holding right at that level right now? And we got a little bit of a, looks like a little T-Rex. Got the little arm right here. Got the other arm. We got the legs. Silly goose. All right. So if this breaks out, then we can look for the price action to explore somewhere in this range here, because there's going to be a lot of chop in this order block range, unless some massive news story comes in and there's a massive buy order or something. But we're working on this. The next level up I'd really be watching is this one right here. So let's go back to the 2 hour and see how that relates to where this order block is. There we go. Yeah, so it's right inside this zone. So that's what I'd be watching. That's the 2300. If we could get over that, then next move might be up into the 2400s. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. If you haven't yet, make sure you head over to bitlabacademy.com. Check out what we got over there. We've got so many different courses, and what it's really all about. The courses are phenomenal, step by step. We break it down in 4-minute, 8-minute, 12-minute videos, each different lesson, different on-chain charts, how to read price action, how to read candles, how to understand what's going on in this market, what smart money does, what dumb money does. I don't want to be dumb money. Let me learn about smart money so I can mimic those type of behaviors and identify parts in the market, whether it's a small time frame market cycle or a large macro market cycle. How do I know when to identify good entries? How do I know when to take profits? How do I mitigate my risk? That's what this is all about. Make sure you get over here and join the Discord as well. The Discord, premium Discord, is part of BitLab Academy. We do have a free section there as well. The link is down in the description. I love you all. I appreciate you. Remember, we're just coming up on this period where price just rockets to the upside. So let me know, where do you think? I want you to comment down below. I want you to comment here in the chat, and I want you to let me know in the Discord as well. Where do you think price is going to be on Christmas Day? Let me know your thoughts. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Discover Crypto here in a few minutes. If you haven't yet, make sure you check out blofin.com. Get involved if you want to. It's no KYC, no VPN required. It's still available for everybody. This is not something I'd recommend you putting your entire life savings in. This is a trading account. So allocate accordingly, trade smart, get involved with us, trade with us. It's a great way to help support the channel as well. The best way to support the channel is getting involved on BitLab Academy membership or joining BitLab Academy here on YouTube to be a part of our family. Now, before I go, I want a roll call. Who's all still here? I want to see throughout the rest of this day, do you think we're going to pump, throw a bull, throw the bull emoji, or do you think we're going to have a pullback, throw the sell emoji? Let me know. You can also throw the boom emoji if you think it's really going to pump. I hope you're all doing well. Alexander G, thank you for always running everything here with the mods and getting those links out. I love you all. Now, with that, I bid you adieu. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos, and keep on coming. Thank you for always tuning in to BitLabAcademy.com. Hit that like button, sucker.